Hey everyone, welcome back to another Anime Kingdom reviews. You see by title below, this is on episode 12, the final and last episode of the first core, first season of Bungou Stray Dogs. And I gotta say that this episode overall was a pretty good finale in my opinion. It left us with a whole bunch of things with the threat of the guild. We get to see the guild show up, Francis pretty much giving them, telling them that he wants to buy out their permit, pretty much owning them and everything so that they can move freely around and everything in Japan. And it's pretty interesting to learn about how at first it seemed like they wanted Atsushi the whole time. That's why they put the bounty on him. But in the end, he didn't even try and take him or try and come for him or anything. He wanted the permit. So that was a little weird. I'm not too sure if they, I guess if he buys the permit, he could just take Atsushi maybe in a way. I'm not too sure if that's his plan and everything. That was a lot of money, I gotta say, a lot of money. But it's pretty interesting to see the guild moving in now. We learned a little bit about the guild. They're pretty much just like the agency, but they're centered in North America. So, of course, we already know who Francis is, Fitzgerald. And we also meet another of them, which is that girl, Lucy M. I looked her up, and she's a Canadian author known for the Anne of the Green Gables, or Gables, something like that. Gables, sorry. Never read it in my before, so I'm not too sure. Like I said before, actually, a lot of these, of the Japanese authors and stuff, I don't really even know. Fitzgerald, of course, I know of him. I never really read The Great Gatsby, so I don't really know either about the whole thing of that. I just heard of it, obviously, so I've heard of that at least. But like a lot of these things, it's one thing that I gotta say that it's kind of hard for a person if you've never read these books or known of these authors. Some of the things they kind of like it goes over your head. You don't really notice certain things or see the similarities or the differences between certain things and characters in this in the anime. So that could be a little hard. But overall, this episode was still cool just to see her using her power, pretty much taking away Kenji and taking away what's it called? All of them, Tanizaki, Naomi, and pretty much they're left in that like creepy world, and they have to fight in it. And pretty much the whole episode is that the guild is threatening not only the agency but also the port mafia. As we see that one guy, the leader of the port mafia, I was like, who is this guy? Why would he stay here? And when they showed the girl at the end, I was like, oh my gosh, he's the leader of the port mafia, isn't he? Dude was pretty badass, I gotta admit, when he's like like making what's it called, Lucy, like super scared and everything. I was like, oh damn, is he gonna use his powers? Disappointed he didn't. I really want to know what his powers are. Maybe Dazai will say something in the future, or maybe not. Not Naomi, sorry, Kyoka, because obviously Kyoka was super scared at the end. Man, some of the facial expressions that some of these characters made, like Lucy when she caught one of them, like caught you. I was like, oh damn, that's kind of creepy. Back off a little. But overall the episode is pretty cool. Seeing, of course, it's always good to see that Atsushi is now having a bigger role. I gotta admit that the first half of it, Atsushi was kind of just like along for the ride. He was a main character, but he wasn't like the main one. These last episodes, he's definitely had a bigger impact and a bigger role in them, including this one where he was able to. At first, it looked like he was gonna run away. You saw him, but of course he'd forget, and that guy pretty much he could have stopped everything, but I guess he didn't want to, or just wanted to have fun and look at what Atsushi and the rest of the agency is up to, kind of thing. I'm not too sure about that, but of course, pretty much it was pretty cool to see Atsushi use completely. I knew for a fact once they were in there, even though Tanizaki got taken away, I knew for a fact that he was going to use his power and do something to make her think, some illusion or something. And of course, that is what happens at the end. And it ends with her, of course, letting them all go. It seems that the port mafia is ready to fight. They killed one of the assassins. Lucy is off running back to the guild, to which, of course, we know if she fails, then she'll be cast aside like a napkin, is what she said. So I don't know how bad things are going to be for her. You already see Atsushi was trying to be like, wait, is there anything I can do for you? He's just trying to get another girl or something. But Kyoka is your girl. She's also living with him now, so I can't wait to see more of that what's gonna come of that in the next season. It was cute to see her hug him from behind at the very end when she was worried about him. Of course, after seeing who he was talking to, she was freaking out. But yeah, still overall pretty good episode, pretty good finale to end everything for now until the fall season is when it comes out. Really good to know that, it's always really good to know when you're watching an anime and you're watching the first season and you already know that there's going to be a second core or second season coming out already. It feels so good that even when it ends like this, it's like, well, I can wait. I'm sad that we just can't continue right off right now, but I'm happy that at least we know for sure that there's going to be more of it later on. So that's good to know. Now let's talk about how I felt about the season overall. To be honest, I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it, but the first half was rocky. It definitely was. It didn't really this whole thing didn't really get rolling until after maybe this that part with Kunikita, that little filler part after it got really dang intense. Before that, it was still pretty good. I still enjoyed learning more about most of the characters, learning about all these kind of things, seeing the growth of Atsushi from the first episode to this episode now was definitely needed kind of thing. But overall, it was still kind of rocky and still kind of like I didn't care for as much the first half. The second half was pure awesome, especially after the first, that one filler arc. Just like everything went down, Atsushi getting a bigger role, things starting to really pan out. We got the Port Mafia threat, we got the guild as a threat, more stuff on Octagawa and learning more about him, learning more about Dazai and how he was with the Port Mafia. It's really dang interesting to learn all these kind of things, and that's why the second half was just pure amazing. That is why I'm going to give this season overall a 7.5 out of 10. It was definitely really good. First half kind of rocky, filler arc was okay, and then after that was just like, so far it's been just awesome every single episode. And honestly, I cannot wait to see how the second season will be. Now that we got a lot of the introduction stuff out of the way, a lot of all those kind of like things to lead up, the build up to, these big, the Port Mafia and the guild and everything now set. I have a feeling that the second season is going to be even better, way better than this first one. And I cannot wait to see how that is in the fall season. But yeah, that's really all I got to say, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I'm missing to talk about, comment below as well. And yeah, I honestly cannot wait to see the second season. First season was pretty good. That second half was obviously amazing. This episode was really good finale. And yeah, it just gets me more hyped for when it comes to fall and we get that second season to learn a whole bunch of more things, see a whole bunch of more things probably go explode with the guild, Port Mafia, and the agency just about to strangle each other. So yeah, it was probably going to be a good season. So yeah, until next time, guys. See ya.